So those are the improvements that I made, the changes that I've made. And if we compare the stats with his other guildmates, I'm pretty sure there'll be a big difference. Let's find the same one. So there's one with Ken here. Vigor is missing a rune. Hi guys, this is Juno and welcome back to another Summoners War video. Today we are on Mo's account, and this is an account that is actually supporting me as a Patreon, and he's in that top tier, which is supporting me $100 per month, which is actually insane. I kind of made it as a joke for 5 people, and he was the actual first person to be in that list. So I'm very grateful for it. I did say that I'll play with his account because that is one of the perks. So here I am on his account today, where I already made the improvements on his runes. So I perfected his runes. He had a lot of grinds in his box. Yeah, he had like 2,500, like close to that. And I used, I guess, a little over 400 grinds to perfect some of the runes that he had. So we're already at that point. I also got rid of some runes, so on and so forth. And today we'll be making some improvements to his siege defenses, not making new defenses, but actually just making them better, because it did look like his guild was stacking a certain type of defense, and some defenses were actually getting a very good record. So I didn't want to kind of destroy that. He is currently in a G1 guild, and I'm pretty sure with the stuff that he's working with right now, they will work, and they will only work better if we give it better builds. This is his current record. He did get G1 in regular arena. He's getting C2 in RTA, and he's in a G1 guild right now. So now let's go to his siege defenses, and I did make some changes. By changes, I got rid of like 4 or 5 defenses that weren't doing as well, because we will be technically taking off all the runes, or at least using the pool of runes other than his dungeon teams. So these are the 4 defenses that we're going to be improving. These are all runed up, and these are the records. The Sierra Orion Perna was a 17 wins and 18 loss record. It's 0-0 right now because I did think of taking the Perna out for a Theo Cichlid Perna type of defense. However, knowing that no other guild member is running that defense, I was like, okay, we're gonna scrape that and just go with the Sierra Orion, because it is a defense that his guild is running. They are running something like it, so I'm gonna be making that. They're running the Odin in this tower right here. This is his defense here. He is running some kind of Liu Mei Vigor type on this tower. You can see it's a mix of Carcano and Commons. And then he's running one more right here. Yeah. Now this is the outlier, but it's doing really well. So we're just going to be improving it. Before we start, let me show you guys the runes of all the builds. His rune quality is no joke. They're actually really nice. It's just that his box is a little limited. Yeah, so this is Commune, Vigor, and Liu Mei. If you guys want to see the differences after I'm done with the improvement, please come back to this point and compare the builds, because there's going to be some drastic changes. There's another Commune here on Violent Destroy. Here's a Bastet that's actually on Violent Nemesis, really fast. And then Odin on Violent Will here. Sierra Orion Perna. This is the Sierra Orion, and then the Perna. And then finally the Carcano Beta with the Roid, and this is actually doing really well. It's 11-7, so we're gonna keep this as well. But I'll be making the improvements and be right back and show you guys how I changed the builds and why, because some builds here look kind of weird. This one is the one flaw, I think, is that the Lumen is a little too slow. One flaw here is that I think Bastet should be on the shield set, because there should be a shield somewhere. You could go shield on the Commune, but I think Destroy is so much better, so Destroy there, shield here, Violent Shield. And then Violent Will on the Odin will actually make it better or easier for Odin to get the 5 stacks. Here, the Perna is not tuned to Orion's 306 speed. We also did improve the speed a little, I think by 1. And then finally, this one, the Beta is not 100 resistance. And the Roid is also a little slow. But I do think my change is also slow. I think that's fine. I think these two being around the 286 to take, and then this being a little slower is okay, since the Beta will be providing with that crit resist buff and will. So yeah, I'll be right back after making those changes, and let's see how it looks like. Okay guys, so I'm done re-runing everything, and I'm going to explain why I ruined certain things in a certain way. So let's first look at this first defense with the Commune Vigor Liu Mei. Now the first flaw that I told you guys about this defense is the Rune being way too slow. It was at plus 87 speed before this improvement, but now if you look at the Rune, it's at plus 161 speed on this spare wheel, decently tanky with a lot of stats, some accuracy. This is bringing in 19% more for skill 3, so it's not that bad. Now, does that mean that this is good? No, everything has to be put into context. So I don't want this Rune to be going first in this defense. Yes, there are people that build it that way, but for me, I do think there's one flaw with this defense, is that it could be cleaved with a illusion offense, right? And for a G1 defense, it's really about rune quality, and it's a great thing that he has great rune quality, because I was able to make a vigor that was pretty damn fast, where it could actually contest speed that bring in, let's say, illusion offense, even with a Susanoo, because with Susanoo Konomiya has awful base speed. With the vigor, even on violent, with a 19% speed lead, has a chance to outspeed. So the vigor actually goes first here on 290 speed on violent guard. Decent accuracy, really tanky. We also gave it some damage taken from wind, so even if it does come in with illusion, if it does survive, then maybe the vigor plus the commune can bring a comeback. And then finally, the commune's on 254 speed. Now it's on this particular tick or speed because we want everything to at least be over the 286 tick. It's on a crit rate build. You see it's 90 crit rate with almost 100 crit damage, and the artifacts are all about the crit damage and taking less damage from water. And I do think Violent Destroy subset is probably one of the better subsets for a more sustainable team that has heals and shield. So that's why I went with a certain build. I think it's a huge improvement to what he was running before. Now the same context goes for this as well, which is the Bastet offense. Now the one biggest flaw in this defense was that the Bastet wasn't a Nemesis set, and I do think that if it had a shield set, it would help the Odin get his 5th stack. So it did lose 2 speed because the Nemesis set actually had a really fast plus 28 speed rune, but with the change to the shield set, it's a plus 26, so we lost 2 speed, so it's at 283 speed. Still decently fast on violent, really tanky, a lot of resistance, although it's only 68%, right? These some accuracy with 16% more on skill 2 here, so I think that's decent, good enough. And everything is tuned, whereas the Bastet goes first and then the commune goes, okay? And everybody is tuned to the Bastet boost. This is a 233 speed on a crit damage build, where you guys might question why the crit rate is a little low. Now there has been counters to this defense where you bring in the Miho, so I give it less crit rate so that who knows, if they do bring in the Miho, commune has a chance to kill. We also focused on some accuracy because heal block is a huge counter against those Mihos as well. Again, a lot of crit damage for the artifacts. Finally, the Odin, that's much tankier than before, tuned, which is more important, with decent crit rate, with more skill 1 crit damage. So that is it for this offense. Yes, I would recommend you to Devilmon the Odin because it needs to be fully scaled up. And I did see certain units missing skill ups here and there, so I hope that you work on those too. Next is the Sierra Orion Perna. Now, again, this is more of a tune fix and maybe like more tankiness. But other than that, I do think that it was working well before and he was getting a lot of wins. I'm just speculating that it'll get better records than it did before, because in no way the previous build was bad. It's just a little better. For example, the Orion's much tankier, 1 speed faster with almost over 85 accuracy, but with the skill 3 accuracy here, yeah, it's over 85 accuracy. It's it's over 100%, so that's great. And then Perna goes in front of the Sierra. Now, why is that? It's because Perna skill 2 has a strip, right? Yeah, the strip, so there's a higher chance for the Sierra to, go for a unit to land that bomb. With decent crit rates, some accuracy, 246 speed, and finally the Sierra on 250 speed. With the speed lead, Perna still goes first due to her base speed. So yes, although it looks faster, it's not. The Perna will move first with a lot of crit rate, 80%. Before it had 50%, but I did give it 80 so that she has a little more turn cycling. But that's the really only change right there for her. A lot of skill 2 accuracy with some more bomb damage for her, because I think this team is more of like a nuke type of team rather than a prolonged fight. If it's a prolonged fight, yes, you could go for like additional damage stuff, which is more common for RTA. But I do think for siege defense, the nuke is the way to go. Now, finally, this Carcano Beta Roid team. Now, everything here is in the 286 tick other than the Roid. So with the speed lead, I was able to decrease the speed on Beta and give it 100 resistance. So I think that's a big plus. 246 speed, really tanky, some more skill through recovery, and taking less damage from a certain stack. Okay, and then after that, the Carcano moves on 242 speed, again over the 86 tick. That's on a crit rate build on Violent Revenge. To be fair, I think Violent Destroy is the better build since there is a beta, so it could become a prolonged fight. I think Revenge is always a good set as well for Carcano, since if he gets to this hidden name pose, then it's really hard to crit or one-shot the Carcano, right? A lot of skill 1 crit damage, more crit damage artifacts. Yeah, on target crit damage 12%, 16%, so that's 28%, plus the 11%, that's 39%. So almost 100% crit damage if they are at full health. Okay, and then finally the Roid that's not on the 286 tick, he's actually slower, and I think that's fine again, because if the Beta moves first, then Beta will give the crit resist buff plus the will, so I think Roid will eventually move. Really tanky, more tanky than it was before, and still on a crit damage build. This unit is on a destroy set, which also is a big plus compared to what it was before. So those are the improvements that I made, the changes that I've made, and if we compare the stats with his other guildmates, I'm pretty sure there'll be a big difference. Let's find the same one. So there's one with Ken here. Vigor is missing a rune. Shoot. Oh, it's a Swift Rune. Okay, I think it's good to have like this mix. Is there somebody else? Okay, let's check this one too. Yeah, if you look at this Vigors, none of them are like crazy fast. And then you see this random one that's 290 speed. Right, and people are like, oh wait, it's a Swift Vigor. No, it's not. And then the Lume's on Despair Will, really fast as well, over that 286 tick, and also the Commune over the 286 tick on Violent Destroy. And then we'll compare the Odins here, right? So ours is down here, where we have a Violent Bastet on 283 speed, and everything else is tuned to it. If you compare these Bastets, yeah, they have a Swift Bastet on 287 speed, another Swift one, the same speed that we have it. Show your skill. Okay, this one's a little faster on Swift again. And finally, another Swift one, a little faster again on 100 resistance. Still think ours is the best build if you even compare the Odins. Well, let's actually see if their Commune is going first. Okay, that's good. So his Commune is going first. His Commune is also going first. Okay, at least they're all keeping the rule on how to make this team. So that's great. Still think our Odin, our Commune has probably the best build. If you compare it to all of these other players, I am pretty sure ours look the best. And no questions asked for this Commune too. Ours is on Violent Destroy. I think we rarely saw anybody on the Destroy set. We did see a Violent one, yeah, Violent Shield. Oh, there's a Destroy set, but it's not on a Violent set, and not on crit rate or crit damage build. Crit damage build, Violent Destroy, okay, here's a good one. Here's a pretty good one, yeah. Okay, similar to ours, but I think ours is a little more tankier. Yep, much tankier, and the entire team is just much better. Do we have one here? Yes, we do. Moa right here. Is anybody faster than us, right? That's a good thing to check. No, oh, a Violent one. I think that's a good one. I think it's good to mix these up. Another Swift. Oh my god, that's way too slow. So again, I think ours is a better Rune defense. Let's see how it does in the upcoming sieges for him. I'm hoping to hear from him how it's doing. There's really nothing to compare here because there's like a mix of Martinez and Trianas and like random defenses. But I believe this 100 beta will be very, very annoying. 100 res beta with this tanky Carcano plus an extremely tanky Roid that can bring in control. I think this defense will also do well since we already know that it's been doing well before. But yeah, guys, that was the improvement for this account. It was pretty quick because, like I said, I didn't have to make any new defenses. I just got rid of some of the defenses that I think that aren't doing too well, and I just upgraded the ones that he was currently running. I do think they look much better than they do before, and I'm hoping that it gets him a better record in the remainder of the season. So hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want account improvements like this, please join my Discord. All the information is there. If you guys want account reviews, please join my Patreon. But yeah, but that was it, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.